And now let's take a look at another procedural geometry creation example. And for this example, I'm gonna be creating a procedural nuclear reactor chimney. Okay, so let's create a geometry node, dive inside, and let's create a line. Set the line length to 5. And let's add a sweep node to give him thickness. Let's change this to round tube, and let's increase its radius, and let's add some columns for more smoother shape. And let's go back onto the line and add some point to add a height segments. And onto the sweep, let's apply scale along curve, and let's add a point at the middle. And for the middle point, let's bring the scale down just a bit. Let's change this interpolation to B-spline for a more smoother transition. Let's change that for the first point as well. So select the first point and change interpolation to B-spline. And for the last, let's change this to B-spline as well. And here we can adjust the inner radius. We can adjust its position. Okay. And now let's rotate every other ring to create a brick style pattern. So for that we need to group the every other ring. So for that, let's create a group by range. Let's connect that. So we can say select every one of 2. So here, as you can see, our group range sub is not working as we want. Okay, so let's use another technique for that. So let me delete the group by range. So here, when we have created the line and we have these line points, so these points are responsible for adding these height segments. So we can use these line points to group these height segment. So for that, let's add a convert line. So let's connect that. So what the convert line sub will does, so if I set the display flag onto the line and enable my primitive display, so here we have only one primitive 0. If I middle click here, as you can see, we have only one primitive. So when we added a convert line sub, now if we middle click, now we have 14 primitive, and here we have these primitive numbers. So basically at every point, every edges, we are converting these edges to primitive. Okay, so now we have 14 primitive. So now let's add a group by range, and let's connect it here. And now we can say select every one of 2. So now we are skipping every other primitive. Okay, and now let's transfer this group onto this geometry. So we can transfer the group by using a group transfer. So the group transfer works exactly like the attribute transfer, but here we are transferring the group. Okay, so this is the geometry to transfer groups to, and this is the geometry to transfer groups from. Set the display flag to the group transfer. So now here, as you can see, we are selecting every other height ring segments. Okay, so let's rename this group to height rings. Okay, and let's append a transform sub, connect it here. So let's choose our height rings and let's rotate these rings. So here, as you can see, our rings are not rotating correctly, and that is because currently we have all of this is a one connected piece of geometry. So let's disconnect that. So we can use an facet node, connect it here and here. Click on unique points to disconnect every face. So now if we transform and add an rotation, now as you can see, we are creating the brick pattern. So, but the problem with the facet and clicking on the unique points is that it is now splitting every individual face. So if I add an exploded view and connect this after the facet, set the display flag onto the facet. So here, as you can see, every primitive are now disconnected, and I don't want that. So what we can do is we can only disconnect these selected primitives, these selected rings. Okay, so we can do this by adding in a node called primitive split node. So here onto the primitive split node, so it requires a name attribute. So if the current primitive has the name attribute greater than the 0, so it will split those primitive. Okay, so let's create a name attribute. So let's add an attribute create sub, and let's set this to be name attribute, and let's initialize it to 0, and let's duplicate this node again, and onto the height rings group, let's set its value to 1. So now if we go into the geometry spreadsheet, so some of the primitives has the value of 1, and some of the primitives will have the value of 0. Okay, so let's connect the primitive split node, set the display flag onto the primitive split, and we are using the name attribute, and we have the name attribute, and the name attribute, it has to be onto the primitive level. So let's change the class from point to primitive. Let's change this to primitive as well. Okay, so now the primitive sub is working correctly. So now if I add an exploded view after the primitive split, and let's change the piece elements from primitive to points. Okay, so now as you can see, our geometry has been sliced up correctly. Okay, so now let's use the transform node and the height rings group, and it should work fine. Okay, so let's add an null at the end, and let's name this to be chimney, and let's add a thickness to our chimney. So let's add a poly extrude node and connect it after the null, and here onto the poly extrude node, let's add a distance and change the divide into individual elements to create a brick style, and click on the output bag to create the bag primitives. Okay, so in the next lesson, let's add the railings at the top. Okay, so let's add that in the next lesson.